Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I do, discussions, some commentary. I do makeup videos, scary makeup videos. I talk about movies. I do everything that I want to do because I have a lot of interest. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Sienna Mae and Jack Wright some more, because Sienna Mae, and I have notes in front of me, you know how I gotta do. Sienna Mae broke her silence regarding the Jack Wright situation, and she went on the BFF podcast, and she went on there with her attorney and an internet forensics expert, which it's not a courtroom, and the hosts of the BFF podcast were a little befuddled by why they would show up. I mean, to me, that just screams guilty. You know what I mean? And I want to talk, and we're going to talk more about this later, but in her reflections from an 18-year-old me, she all but admitted that she was, at the very least, inappropriate with Jack. If you read between the lines, you know what I mean? But, not now. Now she's acting like maybe she didn't remember everything she wrote in that because it was so long. But she continues to claim the video Jack's friend released was seriously taken out of context. And I've watched that video many, many, many times just to look at it. I've shown it to Eric, and I do not believe that video has been taken out of context. I do not believe that. So, and in T-Spill's video, she said she didn't know what was going on with BFF. Said it seems every TikToker wants to go on that podcast to try and clear their name. Well, it's because Dave Portnoy is an apologist. He gives them a platform to speak on, to defend themselves. And he's not like, I don't want to say he's like easy on them or anything, but he has been an apologist in the past. And it's a safe environment for those who are being accused of things to feel like they're being heard, and that the truth they want people to believe can be told in its entirety. And I think that podcast has the reputation of being like that. Just my opinion. Don't come for me. But Dave was confused as to why Sienna brought her attorney and this forensic expert. I'm just trying to read my writing. But she said, she's going to talk about like the personal part, the emotional part. The lawyer's going to talk about any legal aspects. And, all the lawyer really said, and I guess I could watch it again, but it pointed out that no legal charges have been filed. There's been no lawsuits filed, nothing going on there. But we already know that. We already knew that. So, but just because no legal action has been taken doesn't mean it didn't happen. They're not saying, well, it didn't actually happen because we're not filing a lawsuit or filing charges or anything. That's not what's being said, And here's how I look at it. Jack, he's a young man, okay? So think about it for a minute, how women and girls are treated when they come forward with these types of allegations. Just think of it. When they come forward with it, they're met with hostility, they're met with mocking, they're met with ridicule. It's worse for men and boys. It is worse for men and boys. And he came forward knowing this. He knew that, get out of the way. He knew that he would face ridicule and mocking and this hate mob of people that, there's these men. I've read a lot of comments from men and women, mothers of boys even, with their stupid remarks. You're stupid. You are a stupid idiot if you've made those types of remarks like, that can't happen to a boy. And, well, he's just not a manly man. And, you know what? The males making those comments, you're not manly men. You are cowards and you are garbage. And these idiots that make those comments like that, they don't think for a second. I might have a friend or a loved one or a brother or a cousin or somebody who is a male who's faced this, that can never come forward because of the ridicule you're showing that you are going to give them. The fear, and I wonder how many male victims there really are out there that won't come forward because of people like that in their life. You know what I'm saying? But it took a lot of courage. It took a lot more courage for Jack Wright to come out and say what happened to him, that I believe did happen, because no young man would do that knowing the ridicule he would face, unless it was true. And he has more courage than any of those people leaving those comments have. He has more guts than any of them. It makes me very emotional. I'm sorry. And I want to revisit Sienna Mae's essay on Medium. Sienna Mae Gomez, Reflections from an 18-Year-Old Me. In the section that begins, Jack, if you're reading this. So we're going to just read that real quick. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay, here it is. Here, put some glasses on so I can read this to you. Jack, if you're reading this, I apologize if there were times that I made you feel uncomfortable. I am sorry if anything I ever did triggered other things you have experienced or any feelings of discomfort. But anything I did unknowingly, as our physical relationship on camera was one of closeness and familiarity that I had known to carry into our real lives. That said, there is a distinct line between that and SA. I'm so sad that this is where we ended up, and even more so that I'm now being used in a new and even more hurtful way. I mean, read between the lines, that's an admission of guilt, in my opinion. If not full-on SA, at least being inappropriate. So she knows she did wrong and really just won't fully accept that she's caused damage. And then she claims ignorance, and then she tries to shut it down by shifting the blame. She uses if to try and shift the blame. She, again, tries to shift the narrative, and that is something guilty parties do. And she doesn't seem to understand that just because charges weren't filed does not negate SA. She seems to think that because charges weren't filed, she's innocent. That's not how it works. There are a lot of artists running around. What are you doing, Brian? There's a lot of artists running around this world who have never had charges filed against them because of things like this. Because it's difficult to prosecute. And yeah, nobody's going after her. It doesn't mean she's not guilty, you know. In the eyes that are watching, she is guilty, though. And again, I don't believe for a minute that Jack would lie about this. Millions of people felt his emotion and saw his sadness in that video he made. And you can't fake that. And, you know, he's a TikToker. He's not that good of an actor. You know what I mean? And he's getting beat up on the internet by scumbags. And it's not okay. And he would not risk facing that if this wasn't the truth. And I think it's appalling that she's... I don't know if she's trying to save her social media persona or what, but the only thing that's going to save her, if even that, is just admitting, yeah, I did those things. She can claim ignorance. Say, I didn't know, I thought it was okay. I didn't know girls could SA guys. I was always taught guys like that, you know. it wouldn't make it right, and it would still be disgusting, but still, she'd still be shifting the blame. So I guess no. But her only acceptable recourse is to say she did it and get help, because you just don't do those things to people and react the way she has if you have a healthy mind. So, but you know what? I always say people need help, even people who aren't doing things like that. So everybody needs help. She needs a different kind of help. And anyway, so that's it. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I found her appearance kind of disturbing and disgusting. And I don't think... I understand BFF Podcast wants to give people a voice and give them a chance to tell their side of the story. I get that. But some people don't deserve a voice. That's it. Well, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.